Shalom. Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rahakodash. Bakta Yahweh, Bakta Yahushai, Bakta Rahakodash, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rahakodash. Shalom and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Akwathium of the hopeful elect. Shalom. Just want to go into a quick video here. Lebanon's leader, first speech since the start of the war of the Israel, so-called Israel and Hamas war. So he just came out, I think it was yesterday, on Friday. Today is November 4th. So November 3rd, he came out, 2023, and made his first comments. And this is Lebanon's leader. So this guy, he's the leader of Lebanon, and Lebanon, they're the ones who created this Hezbollah military group. So it's basically like the military wing in a way for Lebanon, and they back and support Hamas. They're all of the same Muslim Arab religion, right? So this thing is escalating further. And we know Iran supported Hamas, and Iran supports Lebanon, and they support, Lebanon, who created Hezbollah. They're a more sophisticated, far better and stronger militant group than Hamas, which is basically being a big brother to Hamas. Hezbollah is like being a big brother to Hamas, stepping in to defend them from the onslaught that's been going on. And then Iran backs both Hamas and backs Lebanon. And now the next person to get into it would be Iran to back Lebanon if need be. And we know who backs Iran, the bear, Russia. So as I said, it's like a pay-per-view fight, like a heavyweight fight, or a pay-per-view fight for, a fight card, right? It started out small, then it escalated. It's going to keep escalating to the mid card, to the co-main event, to the main event. So basically, Iran is kind of like the co-main event, because Iran is the modern day Persians, and then the Medes, the Russians are the modern day Medes, the Medo-Persian Empire. The Most High going to stir up the Medes to ultimately take down, according to biblical prophecy, take down the whore, America, Babylon the Great, along with China as well, right, in the fray as well. So, in the spirit, that analogy of the pay-per-view fight card, escalating all the way up to the main event, is getting closer and closer to that main event. But before that main event can happen, a few more things must happen over here in America, which is that, and throughout the four corners of that digital economy, that device that goes into your hand to buy and sell, right? So men can be tried for a particular period of time. And then after that, what's going to happen? And also that's going to occur, it's going to kick off the, got a little bit distracted. Give me 1 second. And that's also the, it's kind of loud outside, really distracting me. But, so that's going to kick off also the Jacob's trouble and the apocalyptic times. So that must occur and go on, before the main event of, the bear Russia stepping in. So from here, we'll go ahead, we'll play this video real quick and then grab some precepts, filter it through the scriptures as always, and close out.
الأخوة في غزة في نداءاتهم يقولون للدول عيابين على نقم من نساء وأطفال غزة ويحول ما يقارب الآن وتتشبع أجسادهم في قطاع غزة. مع قائد المقاومة ومع إخواننا المظلومين بغزة هم قدام صلاح الأمين العام، هم المنطلقين نحو وكل البيئة المجاهدة والمقاومة لا تقول عمليات المقاومة في الجنوب ودماء شهدائنا وشهدائكم في الجنوب تقول لهذا العدو الذي قد يفكر بالاعتداء على لبنان أو بقيامه بعملية استباقية باتجاه لبنان أنك سترتكب أكبر حماقة في تاريخك ووجودك. الدول والحكومات العربية والإسلامية يجب أن تعمل كل جهدها لفرض وقف العدوان على غزة بالحد الأدنى. ما بدكم تشتغلوا للهدف الثاني، دينكم، إنسانيتكم، أخلاقكم، ضمائركم تفرض عليكم أن تعملوا من أجل الهدف الأول وهو وقف العدوان. لا يكفي التنديد وبيانات الاستنكار والشجب. اقطعوا العلاقات، اسحبوا السفراء. لا يكفي أن نخطب.
Okay, so there we have it. The leader he spoke out. He's rallying all nations, all brethren of the same religion of the Arabs to go ahead and put aside the differences and everything, and no, it's no more time for just merely speaking about it. You know, to go ahead and cut ties in our relations with who? With the little hats and the whore. And so it's time for talking is over. So what that means, when someone stops talking, then now they're talking about actions. And they said that the fact that America took its military over there to the Mediterranean, did not scare them. It will not scare them, and that's that biblical prophecy right there. So we'll start at Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. It says, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army," and that's North America, "and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, and his stink shall come up," meaning they're going to get, they're going to lose. And what happens when a body went to a dead body? It begins to, stink, right? So that's mean that they're going to be defeated. "And his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things." And that great goes into pride, proud, blasphemous, profane things against the Most High. Hebrews 12 and 16. "Lest there be any fornicator as Esau, or a profane person as Esau, who sold his birthright for a morsel of meat," that bloody stew. So when you get this translation comparison, as we go into here, speaks on, it says, I would drive away these armies from the north. I will send them into the parched wastelands. Those in the front will be driven into the Dead Sea, and those at the rear into the Mediterranean. So we know America has taken their armies, has taken shows of force and taken them to the Mediterranean Sea. So that's biblical prophecy right here. That just jumped off the page right there. But these people, they will not care about that, because the scriptures speak about Ishmael being a wild man, and he's just not going to care, anymore. They're not no more afraid, because it's the Most High riling up the spirits of the kings of the earth to go ahead and usher in the end of this society, this heathen reign upon earth. "The stench of their rotting bodies will rise over the land. Surely the Lord Yahweh has done great things." So this is all the will of the Most High power Yahweh. So from there, let's go ahead and get Isaiah 47 and verse 1. "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. And we know that's America. It's the Edomites, the so-called white race. Sit on the ground, there is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans. Those are the sorcerers of these times, the witchcraft, spell-inducing, spell-creating Edomites of today, which is the little hats that owns Hollywood, music, internet, TV, radio, so forth and so on, right? For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. See, because they were called tender and delicate for a while. No one said anything evil or hateful or evil. Had any evil sayings against the fourth beast, America, and what they do. Everyone was striving and was drunken with the wine of her fornication, of her philosophies. And so we know that America is the daughter of Babylon. When you read Psalms chapter, I think it's 137. Yeah, right here it says Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Lord Yahweh, the Bahashem Yahushai, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, race it. That means erase it. That means pull it down, even to the foundation thereof. They were cheering on the ancient Babylonians of Nebuchadnezzar when they took down the southern kingdom. That shows you that, we're always closely tied, the so-called African Americans. The southern kingdom of Judah, we're always very close to the Edomites because they were right there when we had them in subjection at that time, and they were cheering because they wanted to get from underneath our subjection that we had them under, had them subdued through King David, and Solomon. So who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof, in verse 8. See, because the first 7 is talking about Esau, the Edomites, so-called white race, and then verse 8, old daughter of Babylon. So that lets you know the context that Edom is referenced. Also, another name for Edom, the Edomites, so-called white race, is the daughter of Babylon, because they follow, this is Babylon the Great. They were the daughter of Babylon, and then now they become Babylon the Great in their full development. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Excuse me. And we know that Andrew Jackson, the Trail of Tears, also known as the Indian Removal Act, when they forcibly removed the so-called Indians who are of the Northern Kingdom, Gad and Reuben, and forced them on the most barren areas of America, so-called America, and on the reservations. And during that trek, Andrew Jackson would take the babies and dash their heads up against trees, kill them and everything. So this is the ugly history, the brute beast savagery of Esau Edom. And now, it's his time to now be held accountable and receive proper recompense for his deeds and actions. And all these other nations are now rising up, and the Most High is using these nations and riling them up to come on up against the virgin daughter of Babylon, America, and his allies. Chiefly, their chief ally, you see that they defend the little hats to no end, right? So Psalms 10 and verse 2. The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. And who is the poor? The Israelites. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. So just like Haman, the Edomite, imagined that evil device against the Israelites, the Jews, in the days of the Persian Empire, right? And he got hanged on his own device that he tried to do unto Mordecai and his family, I believe, right? So, I believe it's Mordecai. His name is Mordecai. Yeah. So verse 3, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous. See, and who's the chief covetous? Themselves and within their nation is that those little hats, because they're trying to take all of that land and destroy, and they own, pretty much they run the earth, because no one can say anything about the little hats, because anyone that come out in Hollywood, come out in entertainment, all these celebrities and actors and athletes, if they say anything about the little hats, they got to do what? They get hit with the anti-sim label, and then they got to come out and apologize, or do what? Lose their career, and lose all their money. So they're the most covetous of all, because they have all the money, because they run the banks and everything. They print the money. So, and the whore America, Babylon the Great, they do what? They give annual money, billions of dollars every year, to the most covetous, the little hats, and other kind of aid, of welfare and everything, because they're spoiled rotten, because the little hats, all they got to do when they're in over here, they just call in to the human health services hotline. They got a special number, I guess, because all they got to do is call in and request for welfare aid and money for welfare, and it gets approved over the phone, and they have it instantly. They have it instantly. So, over here, our people, we have to go through a whole process, and then take a month or two, and then we get approved of a small amount, right? And that's scripture speaking about they are not in trouble as other men. So, verse 3, and for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai abhorreth. So the most I say, so that people try to use Deuteronomy 23:7 and say you can't abhor an Edomite, but that's a mistranslation of that word. Edomite is going into Syrian, because our forefather Abraham was in that land, and everything was treated properly. That's a whole other topic. I don't want to get off the topic, but Lord willing, I can make a video about that as well. But sticking on this right here, so the Most High abhorreth the Edomites and the wicked. So we're totally within our right to do so as well. Verse 4, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. B'Hashem Yahushai, Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. So what are they doing right now? They tell us to forget about slavery and forgive them, right? But when they got attacked, what they did, the Israel, the little hat leader, they said that they're going to completely wipe Gaza off the map. Where's the forgiveness and forgetfulness of that, right? It just doesn't make any sense. No other nation is told that. No other nation employs that, but tells us to, right? That's because we're the true Israelites. Because there's power in us understanding who our power is and who our Messiah is. Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shah. So verse 5, his ways are always grievous. Everything he does is terrible, right? Like I did a video say Yahweh Shah is the one with the Midas touch, because everything he touches, he does. He put forth, his hand and footsteps to rectify everything, turned everything into gold for the Israelites, for the kingdom of heaven to come. Well, Esau, he has the opposite effect, whatever you would call that, turning everything to rottenness, to cancer. So his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above his sight. So the Most High's judgments are far above his sight. Like the Most High says, wisdom is too high for a fool. So the Most High wisdom of his judgments and laws and statutes and commandments is far above his sight. He's a fool. He's the base man of the earth. He cannot see, because he cannot see righteousness nor understand it, because he's a fool, and the wisdom of Yahweh is too high for him. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. So, it's just like if you see a bully at school walking around with his chest out and bucking up at whoever he feel like and making everyone else, flinch and jump and get out the way. That's Esau. He's the bully of the earth. He puffing at all the heathen, all of his other Gentile heathen neighbors. And even at his own self, he puff at his own self. He that is evil to himself, to whom shall he do good? So that's a fool. You go into a mirror and start puffing and bucking up at your own self. That's going to, he buck up, and they always fight. They always have a lot of infighting and being proud against each other. So from there, let's go from verse 5. We'll go to see, he puff at everybody, because nobody else really can do anything with them. And this is the same characteristic. This is who this is talking about, the wicked. So First Maccabees 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes. And that's that prophecy of Alexander the so-called Great rising up, the Most High used as that third beast, the Greek Empire. King of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So he was the first Greek king. That was the Greek Empire that took down the Medo-Persian Empire, the ancient one back in the day. Verse 2. And he made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth, meaning the other nations' leaders, in their militaries, and took over those lands. Verse 3. And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations. And so much, he's the one he's the hammer of the earth, robbing and plundering and stealing. And so much that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. See, he has that pride, and that's that puffing up, that puff up, something puffs, it rises up like yeast represents, it makes bread rise, that's that pride and puffing up. And that's what he did. He puffed up at the other nations when he got on top. So that's what he did right here. It said he puffed at verse 5, at the end of verse 5. As for all his enemies, he puffed at them. So that's what that shows you who the wicked is, and that's going into ultimately into Esau, the so-called white man. So from there we'll go to Revelation, Daniel, the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verse 20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, that goes into the Congress here in America. Eyes, meaning many people. That the many people that rule this country, they all commune together every day and delegate. And a mouth that spake very great things, and that mouth goes into their president. The president is the one to be speaking, and they have a House of Representatives, they have a House Speaker, and all of that too. Spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. So this fourth beast, this America, is more stout, more proud than all of his fellows. America is the most proud country on earth. And so the 10 horns, talking about the European Union and the NATO and the Treaty of Rome, and that's that fourth beast that got revived. And they got revived through the NATO and EU, through America, and which is the spirit of that beast, the fourth beast, the Roman Empire. So it says, and before whom 3 fell. So that 3 fell, going into those 3 horns right there is France, Spain, and Great Britain, because they were over here in America before, because America is an extent, the Americans today are the offshoot of the Britain Empire, because they were British that came over here, being the representatives for the Britain government over there in Europe. and they wanted representation in Britain as well, because they were holding it down over here. And Britain said, no, just keep on doing what we tell you and run that land over there, run America like we told you. And they were 13 colonies at first. And then that's that little horn that came up out of that eighth horn, or that seventh. They're that eighth horn that came up, right? So that little horn is America, because it's a little short space and time is going to rule. And so they broke away from the Britons. So these people, the white folks you see today, they're just descendants of the British over there, so-called British. But that's what's going on. And then he plucked up those three because they had those wars with the French, the Spanish, and the Britons, right? And that's that's how they got plucked up over here through that war, through those wars, and they became the so-called United States of America. So from there we'll get a Revelation 13 and verse 2, because that leader, Iranian leader, he also has said, he called the Hamas people's their deeds. He called it heroic when Hamas, attacked the little hats over there. He called those acts heroic, because for them it's a heroic thing, because no one has ever dared to attack the little hats in America, which they know the hammer of the earth is waiting to come smashing down, if you do anything towards the little hats, or even them, or any of their allies in the NATO and the EU. So Revelation chapter 13 and verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. And that's beginning with Alexander the Great, which is so-called great, we just read, because he was known for wearing a leopard hat. That's the Greek Empire. And his feet were as the feet of a bear. And the Medes, landmass, their national national animal was the bear, but the modern day Medes are the Russians, and we know the Russian national animal is the bear. So that's Russia. So the end of a person is his feet. So the end of the so-called white race rulership is going to be with Russia, which tells you what? That Russia is going to win that war with the whore. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and he wage war with animals wage war with their mouth. That's the military. And the dragon gave him his power. So that dragon is America, because that's the spirit of the fourth beast, which is with the Roman Empire that got revived through the dragon, which is America. Dragon, which is America, because America whole government and rulership, their whole government is run just like the ancient Roman Empire. The spirit of the Roman Empire is in America, which gave life to that fourth beast in that region over there, old ancient Roman area of the European Union and the NATO. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority, because no one would dare, mess with EU and NATO now, with the whore America, the dragon, backing them up over there. And that's why that guy called it heroic, that, of Hamas, what they did, So everyone's just getting riled up through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. And that was the Roman Empire that fell in 300 AD and came back around 1400 AD, 1,000 years. And his deadly wound was healed through who? America, that gave it its power and revived it. And all the world wandered after the beast. So, and that during this time, during the Renaissance period, and they did all their slaughtering to get the earth, right? And so what happened is everyone began wandering after the beast. They're going, seeking after the American dream. That's how they want. That's how the whole world wandered after the beast, and they got drunk with the wine of the fornication of the whore, with those false philosophies. And now that they're angry for falling for those Babylonian Satanist philosophies. But they're all off, you know. All these heathen nations are wicked. Verse 4. And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. So that dragon, they worship America, Babylon the Great, home of the free, and land of the brave, however they said. And they worship the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who was able to make war with him? See, because everyone was quiet before the beast, as we read in There's Nothing New Under the Sun, as Alexander, he won, right? And slew everyone in the earth and plundered everybody and robbed everybody, right? And spoiled the whole entire earth, and everyone was quiet before him. And therefore his heart was lifted up. So it's the same thing when they got revived again. This is the modern Greco-Roman Empire. And what happened? Everyone is quiet. They saying who can make war with the beast. The same thing, but now that's part of why he said the Hezbollah leader said that it was a heroic act, by Hamas, because no one would dare do that back in the day, but now they will. Why? Because it's the will of the Most High. To go ahead and wrap up everything because of the great awakening of the Israelites, so-called Blastocenos, Native American Indians. So let's go back to Daniel chapter 7. And we'll start at verse 17. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. So those four kings was the old Babylonian Empire of Nebuchadnezzar. That was the first beast. Then the second beast was the Medo-Persian Empire, which took down Babylon, right? And then the third beast was the Greeks of Alexander. We just read it took down the Persians, the Medo-Persian Empire. And then that fourth beast is the Roman Empire, which merged with the Greeks. It's just Edomites merging philosophies together, the Greco-Roman Empire. So those are the four beasts. And then the fourth beast fell, Rome fell, and they came back through America later on, after that Renaissance period. So, verse 18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. That shows you after America goes down, how's it going to go down? Through the will of the Most High, and using Russia, and then the Messiah is going to take down Russia and them and his allies, and that's how the saints are going to take the kingdom forever, the kingdom of heaven. Verse 19, then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue of it with his feet. So that lets you know it was a very ferocious one, and that's America. And that's why, they're very ferocious in their doings, in their dealings, right, in their military. And that's why he said that it was very heroic, because the Most High is riling everyone up now to go ahead, and they're no longer afraid of the fourth beast anymore. In verse 20. Okay, we read that, but we'll read it again. And of the 10 horns, that's the European Union and the NATO today that were in it, because the original 10 nations that entered into that Treaty of Rome with America were 10 nations over there in Europe, in that region. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, that's America. And before whom 3 fell, because America took down France, Spain, and Great Britain, even of that horn that had eyes, that's going to the Congress, and a mouth that spake very great things, the president, the House Speaker, all of those folks that be whoever speaks and represents in that of the government, whose look was more stout than his fellows, and that's going into their pride that's greater than all the other nations. And we all know America is more proud, more great in pride than any other nation. I beheld this, and the same had Slaki. Excuse me. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints. So this is talking about America, and then it's not a coincidence that it's showing the order once America come into power. Where they were waging war with the Israelites. That's the saints. Only the saints are Israelites. Only the Israelites are saints. No one else. No other heathen nation, and prevailed against them because they came over here, took down the Northern Kingdom, right? So-called Latinos and so-called Native American Indians, the lost Northern Kingdom, the lost 10 tribes, and then the Southern Kingdom we got brought over here, so-called African Americans, Benjamites, which are of the Caribbean islands, and the Levites, or of the Haitians, doing the voodoo with the now they're practicing divination on the left hand side with that voodoo. But we got brought over here to build up their nation, right? And that's how they prevailed against us. They made war with us and prevailed against us and used us to build their nation over here. And they're going to do that until when? How long are they going to do that? Destroy the Israelites over here in America. Verse 22. Until the Ancient of Days came, and that's Yahweh, the Almighty power Yahweh, want to send Yahweh Shai to return. And judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. The Most High is going to return, and then the Israelites will receive the proper, the judgments, the 2/3 that's going to get judged, and then also the salvation to the 1/3. And judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. So that lets you know, right after that lets you know who's going to be in rulership when the Most High sends Yahweh Shai to return to restore righteousness in the earth and to bring down judgment and give the Israelites, the 1/3 Israelites, salvation. And they're going to, the kingdom of heaven is going to immediately follow that fourth beast, which is America. America, EU, and NATO, that are all linked together as that fourth beast. See, verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which was the Roman Empire, now revised again through America, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms. And the reason why it's diverse from Babylon, Greece, or Babylon, the Medo-Persian Empire, and Greece, because they all had what? Bloodline kings. Meaning when the king died, then his son took over, and his son took over, his son took over. The rulership was through the bloodline of one man. So now it's diverse from this fourth beast is diverse from them, because why? The Roman Empire had this Congress and Senate, and they elected officials to govern the people and not just have one bloodline king, descendants, rule over of the nation. So that's what happened. And so now America has done the same exact way, and that's that fourth beast revised again, the same exact political structure and rulership structure that they have. So which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. So verse 23 right there. So they tread everybody down and destroyed everybody and broke everyone in pieces. Verse 24, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. So in the 10 horns out of this kingdom, so that's the NATO and the EU, as we've been going into, the 10 horns. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, America, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. That's going to France, Spain, and Great Britain. Repetition is the father of skill, as the elder Apostle Gabar wisely as into the teaching. We must always, repetitively go over this so we can lock it in, and it becomes second nature and being able to break it down. Verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and that's that blasphemy and pride and profanity, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. See, that's he took Esau. He took us down over here and began to be very proud, and then at the same time wearing out the Israelites, destroying the Israelites. Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them in the streets and hold themselves not guilty. We know exactly we know exactly who that talks about, right? The slave driver over here, killing us in the streets, and then they get off. The verdict come in not guilty, even when it's on camera. It's some madness. But we take comfort knowing that that's happening because we went off, we're being punished, but they will receive proper recompense, and we will be delivered and saved out of this madness. And let's go from the top again, verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High power, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And we know that when you go into the account of the flood in the days of Noah, when you look at the date, when you look at the months and how it's broken down, you know that it's 30 days in every month. There's 12 months in a year. That's correct. But there's 30 days every month. So there's not 30 days and then 31 and then 30 and then 28. And that's the KB serpent, the devil the Bible speaks of, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, changing these times and dates, changing the calendar. That's not right. And then every fourth year is an extra month, an extra day added to February. That's not biblical. That's the chaotic K-beast that's got everything just in pure madness and chaos. And think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. So, but yeah, so I was going into that because that's the thing that prompted me, in these precepts is the Hezbollah leader has said that it was heroic of the Hamas his Hamas brethren that he backs to attack the the little hats, but that's just biblical prophecy because they're going to all come up. There's now time for the judgments to go forth against the whore. And so right here it says, right, it's like at the end of this verse 25, until a time and times and the dividing of time, that time goes into a year, and then and times, so that's 2 years, and the dividing of time, that's half of a year. So that's 250 years. And I did a video, man, about like a year or two ago, about Independence Day was prophesied in the Bible, and that's what that was, with these three horns getting plucked up by that little horn. America plucking up France, Spain, and Great Britain. That right there proved that was July 4th that they love to celebrate every year. That was prophesied in the Bible there. That's those three horns plucked up by the little horn, America. And then what happened when they won? What happened when America won those wars? That became Independence Day in 1776. So that time and times and dividing of the times goes into 250 years. In the spirit, I speak as a man, but filtering it spiritually. And 250 years from, so when you take 1776 and add 250 years, so 200 years from 1776 is 1976, and then add another 50 years, and then boom, you see how close we are. So that would make it let's see, 50 is, yeah, around 2016. So it's actually so Esau, he has actually more time. The Most High has given him a little bit more time beyond 2016. So that's why things are speeding up in the 2020s. As I said, that would be the roaring 20s for the destruction and end, ramping up the time. Because when 2020 hit, what happened? lockdowns and things have rapidly declined in this society to these end times to usher in the beginning. We right in the midst of it in the beginning phases. So Daniel 7:7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. That's the Roman Empire, and it had great iron teeth. And what is as we went into? That's that military, because an animal has his military might, his the strength of his jaws and his teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces. So it devours all these other nations, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I believe we read all of that. But yeah, so that's that on that. Isaiah 13:4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh of hosts, mustereth the host of the battle. So that's going into is that's what's happening right now. Because never in the history of this country, never in the history of this earth, or in this country, has anyone talked like this. That Hezbollah leader, he was speaking on if America, if Iran, I think if America, in that video he said that it'll be the stupidest decision of Israel life, if their existence, if they do anything. So, nobody ever talked about the little hats, and they never talked noise about um, the fourth beast, America, like the whore, Babylon, like that. Because they even said that they're not afraid of America bringing their army, their military might, show of force into the Mediterranean Sea, which is close by them. They said they ain't worried about none of that. So they not speaking. They've never spoken. These nations that's been quiet before the beast has never spoken like this. So this is the Most High mustering the host of the battle. So verse 4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai of hosts, mustereth the host of the battle. So the Most High is putting his spirit on them to rise up, and they're tired, and now, they're no longer having that fear of the bully, and said if they do anything, that this will be the dumbest mistake, the stupidest, as they put it, the stupidest mistake of their existence. Verse 5, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. That's going to those thermonuclear missiles. That's going to be the end result of it all. And so from there, we'll go to Isaiah 34 and verse 8. For it is the day of the Lord Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And this is why everything is going down. Because Esau, Edom has, and all the other heathen as well, Hezbollah and all of them, Lebanon leader, Russia, China, all of them have their hand in keeping us down through the United Nations. The so-called Black Latinos, Native American Indians, the lost 12 tribes of Israel. That's the controversy of Zion, and that's why the Most High is doing it. So we're greatly blessed to be, favored by the Most High. It's an incredible blessing for the Most High to be moving like this on the behalf of us to restore everything back to the natural order and righteousness under Yahweh and his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. Jeremiah 50:22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. Verse 23. How was the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How was Babylon become a desolation among the nations? And that's all happening because of his pride and destroying and blaspheming against the Most High and wearing out his chosen nation, the saints, the Israelites. Verse 24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, that's America, and thou wast not aware. See, they're not aware. They're thinking that they was going to overcome biblical prophecies with all of its deception and dealings, but the Most High have them in a trick, bag to overcome and or to destroy, Esau, because his time is now up. It has expired. And thou was not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh. Because that's chiefly what it is. He's always rebelled against the Most High since the beginning of his existence, from Cain to Esau, you know. And all these other nations now are riled up, and that's the Most High raising, mustering the battle of the hosts of the armies to go ahead and usher in this swift destruction that's about to come down. So with that being said, hope this video was edifying. Till next video, I say, Shalom.